a murder at Lakish. The year is 1938, during the British Mandate of Palestine. A 43-year-old British archaeologist named James Starkey is murdered by local Arabs on the road to Hebron. What was he doing there, and why was he killed? The period is known as the Great Arab Revolt. Hundreds of Jews in Jerusalem, Hebron, Tzafat, Yaffo, Teveria were murdered and maimed by Arab rioters who were led by Nazi affiliate Haj Amin Al Husseini. The official British assumption at the time was that Starkey's death was a result of the revolt, and a local rebel leader, Issa Battat, from nearby Dhahiriya, was held accountable and later targeted and killed in retaliation by the British forces. It was later argued that Starkey was killed in a robbery or a dispute with the Arab landowners of the Lakish site. He was buried in the Protestant cemetery on Mount Zion. But what, you might ask, was he doing there at the time? This might remind you of scenes in the Hollywood productions of Indiana Jones in Search of the Lost Ark, which by no coincidence is imagined in the same time period. Pre-World War II, Western researchers and explorers took advantage of the region being under control of Christian nations to examine the lands of the Bible and search for historical artifacts to prove its authenticity. James Starkey was one of those individuals on whose real-life events the escapades of Indiana Jones were imagined, and as his end proved, real-life events were no less exciting and dangerous than in the movies. Starkey led the Tel Lakish dig from 1932 until they came to a sudden end with his untimely death in 1938. During that time, he discovered 20 ancient Hebrew letters of correspondence between the governor of Lachish and the king of Judea in the capital city Jerusalem. The days were leading up to the Babylonian conquest of Judea that is recorded in the Bible in the book of Kings. In one of the letters, he writes, "We don't see Azekah anymore." Azekah was a Jewish city fortress on the hill to the north. They would communicate with fires lit at night. From the report, we understand that Azekah had been captured by the Babylonian invaders. Lakish at the time was the second most important city after Jerusalem. It was enclosed with a protective wall and guarded towers. The story of the Babylonian or Assyrian victory over the kingdom of Judea during the siege of Lakish in 701 BCE was displayed in a decoration on a wall carving in the southwest palace of Sancherib in Nineveh, today Iraq. The events surrounding the conquest of Lakish are recorded in many sources. In the Hebrew Bible, the Lakish Mirifs, the Assyrian cuneiform Pism, and in archaeological excavations at Lakish. Sancherib's conquest of Judean cities without the capital of Jerusalem are mentioned in the Bible in the book of Kings, in the book of Chronicles, and in the book of Isaiah. Visit Tel Lakish National Park. The archaeological remains are a main attraction for the whole family, where we can hike around and see the old city gates, see the letter room where the ancient letters were found. They tell the story of the era. The central street where homes and small shops were discovered, the castle palace courtyard, and the foundation building of the fortress palace. The site has informational signs at each spot explaining what can be seen here. This is David Ha'ivri. I hope that you are enjoying this podcast. If you are, please like and share with your friends. Subscribe to hear more about people and places in Israel. Your comments are welcome.